Yo guys, welcome back to another PSGL video on the channel. Today we are here with round 2 at Spa-Francorchamps. And these are the standings after the first round, so the results if you will. Joe Royal finished P1, followed by Truly McQueen and Scorenzi finishing in P2 and P3. Unfortunately we did DNF in the last race, which was at Australia. So if you want to go check out how that happened and the chaos that happened in that video, then it is just the last video before this that I posted on the channel. We're starting our final lap for not Q1, for short qualifying, just qualifying as a whole. We go very deep into turn 1, which isn't ideal because we did have a lot of time to gain through there. As you can see by us going deep, we are still around half a tenth up on our time. And onto the long back straight that feels like it lasts for a minute. It feels like it lasts for ages. Needing to get the braking point right here, chucking it in over the curve. We'd missed the apex that we would have liked to take, trying to keep the top speed as high as we can going through the start of the second sector. We get the car rotated nicely through here into fourth gear, down the hill, chucking it in, getting it done. Quite nice, but it was worse than the last lap as we are losing our time on the delta. Don't know what these turns are called, honestly. Probably should have looked that up, to be honest. It would have been a lot easier to navigate and commentate over. Gaining some time now though. We are around 2/10 up, chucking it into the final corner or one of the final corners in the second sector. 3/10 up out of the corner, onto another straight that feels like it lasts forever. Gearton cars, don't know if that's his name, butchered that, set the fastest lap, but then Joe Royal setting a 41 flat, puts it on provisional pole, or on pole, into the bus stop chicane, trying to get it rotated nicely. We missed the apex a little bit, then try and get foot on the power as quick as we can, upshift a bit too early and end up losing some time. 3/10 up to the line, and we ended up getting P4. And I do unfortunately believe that we do get beaten by this McLaren here. We will see in a minute if he manages to put us out of P4, and he actually doesn't.
I thought that
So,
was time to me.
As a complete contrast to last race, where we ended up finishing in what was it? We finished P9 in qualifying, I think, P10, something like that. We finished P4. And that just shows that when I practice, I can do well. We're only a 10th off pole. And going for the race, we are going to be doing a hard medium strategy with rain expected. Rain is expected towards the end. We are going to try and take the hards to the rain. 5 red lights and away we go. We get an awful start. And we are already under threat from Truly McQueen, who sends up the inside. We are forced wide. And we do have to go off the track to avoid losing so much more places. But it's an awful start. We're already down 2 places off the start. But there's a virtual safety car which somewhat saves what's just happened. But Truly McQueen made it 3 wide into the first corner.
What was that, man?
And it just put Zaf into me, and it just put me off track. But the virtual came out. But the Ferrari of Truly is on the faster tyres to the start, so I did expect him to beat me off the line, which he did pretty considerably. He definitely beat us. But we go off the track and already pick up our second warning on lap 1. Because we were forced off at turn 1, we did end up picking up a warning for that. And we do already pick up a second one on the first lap of the race. So we cannot afford to go off track again. Else we are just going to be slapped with a 3-second time penalty. Onto this straight. I'm actually going to go search up what this straight is called. But we are on the back straight. And we did try and close in a bit to Zaf in the Alpha, but we didn't quite get that. He goes a bit deep. We do try and get a bit of a switch back to get a better exit on him. But unfortunately he does just put his foot to the floor. With more confidence than us, we try and send to the inside, see if he'll defend unnecessarily, but he doesn't. And that is us through onto lap 2, down 2 places, and with 2 warnings. It's not ideal. We do end up almost going off as we go through the middle sector on lap 2. We lose quite a lot of time, which is going to put us under threat from the Aston behind us. And we are going to be using our energy to try and stay ahead because I don't want to be falling back. But then I realised that he's got lower wings than us. He's got the slipstream, and then it's just easier to let him go. Which is unfortunately us down to P7. We are going to look to the inside, but it's really not worth fighting this. So we decide to let him go. A little bit of a blockade throughout the final corner. Just train and onto lap 3 now. Again, under threat from the car behind. We are on the back foot in race pace. And the AlphaTauri Buman is going to go for a move up the inside, and then he just hits us.
Idiot, man.
He just goes incredibly deep and he hits us, so we don't leave him any room on the exit. But that puts us under threat from Scarenzi in the other Aston, and we're out of DRS range from the Aston ahead of us. We're in an Aston Martin sandwich, and it's basically forced us out of DRS. So we're going to be a sitting duck going up through Radion and Eau Rouge, and then onto the Kemmel Straight. I have got all the names now, and they are coming back to me. But we are just going to move to the left side and easily let Scarenzi through. I'm thinking that I'm going to play the long game here with this strategy. Truly McQueen is spun round in turn 1, and he is at the back of the pack now. He is... I'm not exactly sure what happened. I didn't see anything reported for that incident. But that's him put to the back, so that puts us back up to P7. But contrary to our P4 in qualifying, I'm a little bit annoyed with how this race is going so far, considering that we're only on the back foot and we are just losing more and more time to the cars ahead of us. And we're going to be going onto the final straight. What's that corner called? Corbet. I'm not going to call it that. But there's a safety car. There is a safety car on lap 6, which leaves us with a decision that we have to make. Will we stay out or will we box onto the mediums? And we see everyone else boxing, so it would be incredibly stupid to not box, because then we're just going to get eaten alive. So we do decide to box. For softs, actually, I remember this. I made a mistake and assumed that the rain was coming within the next few laps, because I did say there were rain, but my radio said it was within 5 minutes. And when I come out the pits, I'm going to check the radio, and he's going to say that there's around 10 minutes to the rain, which isn't good for us being on the soft tyres, because the tyre wear is massively against us over 2 or 3 laps. After 2 or 3 laps, our pace will drop off horrendously. And I don't know if you heard me say in the pit lane that I've made a mistake, because everyone around me has put on medium tyres, and I think that there's only one person on the grid apart from me that put on the softs. So we're going to have to make this count right now. End of the safety car, we're back underway, back into green flags, and instantly we're going to be going for a move up Eau Rouge and Radion and then onto the Kemmel Straight. We are going to be looking to make light work of Kiwi up ahead. We're using a lot of our battery, going through, hitting the grass a little bit, but we are going to use a maybe unnecessary amount of ERS to get past here. We're getting in the slipstream. Going to the outsides, we stop using because we just feel like Kiwi will back out, and he does, smartly. He does end up backing out. But on the start of lap 9, we're up into P5 again, which is, it's ideal considering I'm on the faster tyres now. Within the next lap or two, I'm going to be looking to get past Zaf and maybe even the Aston ahead of him as quick as possible, and maybe this strategy might have a chance at working. It's a very alternate strategy, considering only one other person's done it along with me, but at the time I did make a misjudgment and think it would be a better strategy. Yellow flags in Sector 2, and there is another safety car.
To it now. Maybe I can survive.
We
to the
are
rain on the softs.
cooking right now. Our strategy
I might make it.
is going to work, because we go to the end of the safety car, we hear the rain is a few laps out, no one ahead of us should be boxing, so we're going to stay out, and this is only prolonging the time it takes us, and it saves our wear
This
to
might have been a
last
stroke of a genius.
to the safety car.
Come on, the clouds need to
Or
show
not
up
to the safety
now.
car, to the rain. Checking the weather report. 5 minutes
5
till the
minutes.
rain.
Last 5
And
minutes.
this is
It's
going to last
fine.
for around 5 minutes. The safety car is going to finish around 5 minutes, which is when the rain is about to start. You can see the clouds. It is a lot darker than it was in the last cut. But this is just the end of the safety car. There's no rain just yet. But being on the soft tyres, we're still going to have a minor grip advantage to the cars ahead of us. So you see us trying to get the best exit possible, and instantly we're on the back of Zaf. We're going to use all our ERS, pull to the outside. We're going to move to the inside, go for a move into turn 1. We make it stick. Haven't made any contact yet. We get a slightly worse exit. Going to try and stay with him, but he just uses too much ERS. He has the lower wings. So we are not going to be able to make the move. And we hit the grass again on the inside of Eau Rouge, which isn't great because it's just going to lose a slight momentum, and maybe we would have been able to go for a move into Lecon. But unfortunately, not to be done yet. Just need to try and get the optimal lines through the middle sector and see if we can put our grip advantage to work, because we need to make a move as soon as possible. And this strategy might work. Like, just might. And as you see there, the rain has started. And we are on the soft tyres, which, as a lot of you may know, it does work better in wet conditions. The softs work better than the mediums. Just say if you were on the hards during the rain, you're going to have much less grip than if you're on the softs. Moving a lap ahead of when the rain started, we decided to stay out. And I think we're going to stay out again this lap, because it's really not wet enough. Like, if we put on the inters now, we're going to get so much tyre wear, and the track just isn't ready. And I'm quite confident in my pace, or I'm happy with where we're sitting right now. So I'm mainly just going to copy what everyone ahead of us do. But we are falling back like about 6/10 now from the 4-car train ahead. The rain's a lot heavier now. It's questionable if we box onto inters, but it's just depending on what everyone ahead of us do. Going into the bus stop chicane, it's a bit of a car blockage up ahead, and then we get hit
You idiot, man.
from
It's
the
always this
Haas
guy.
behind. And we are forced to box because he has spun us so far that it would just be stupid not to box. Like, this Leonardo in the last race was involved in the crashes that slowed us down and eventually led to our retirement. But it's just happened again. Like, it's not his fault, but I'm just like, he apologized for it. But it's not when I wanted to box. I wanted to stay out another lap, and that's lost us so much time compared to the train ahead. And he's boxed. They are all boxing. Or he boxed a lap ago, and he is out 4 seconds ahead of us. And I believe after this, he ended up getting a penalty, which I'm going to go and check if that actually led to us gaining any positions at the end. But right now, he is very far ahead, and I feel kind of robbed, because I didn't want to box that lap. I'm going to have more tyre wear because it wasn't ready for the inters by the time I was forced to box. Try Hard Nicky retires in the pit lane. He is reserving for Formula YT, or whatever his name was, from the last race. You might remember him, the Haas, just being a bit dodgy. But he isn't racing today, which might be why. I was doing quite well in pace. Lap 17 now. Up ahead, Langfia is on the mediums in these conditions. He is, for some reason, still yet to box. We are needing to make a move on him quickly here, and he's deciding to stay out again, but he's only holding us up. And then we get a massive losing the back end. We lost the back end onto the last straight, which is just hindering our progress and losing us more time to the AlphaTauri, who is on the same tyres as us. And we're going to make a risk here. We're going to use a lot of or as much of our ERS as we can, and we need to make the move now. So we are going to move to the inside, and Langfiel is smarter to not fight this, as he is on mediums in clearly into conditions. So I do rate him for getting out the way, basically, even though he did hold us up and ended up making us lose a lot of time. Lap 19 now. We are on older tyres than the Alpine behind us, Marcus, who is going to look for a move. He's gone for the move, and he's hit us again. He's went very deep. So we're going to slightly run him off-road, and then we end up losing the back end.
God, man.
And this race has gone from bad to worse in the space of
Hilarious, man. It really is.
4 laps.
2 races in a row.
And that's my fault, that's a mistake from me, but it's just painful. As we are now back with the pack from P9 down to P15, I think it is. Maybe even 17, I don't know. No, maybe this till the back of the pack, P14. But we are going to be trying to make our way back up because it's looking like the max positions we can get today is unfortunately going to be 9th. So we're going to lose all our ERS, move to the inside of our teammate Crack. And we're going to brake a bit later, as I think I'm on the freshest tyres out of all these lot. But truly McQueen is on such old tyres. It's crazy. I think he boxed 2 or 3 laps before it was actually into condition, so his tyre wear is horrible right now, and you can just see that by the pace difference right now. We are all over the back of McQueen, and we're going to have to go for a move now because he's just holding us up. Moving to the outside, he does cover it off. We have to brake so much earlier. We just hit the back of him because he's going so slow. His tyres are completely shredded. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on about 80% right now, which is just the fact we're stuck behind him for a whole lap, and then he just goes off the track. But the fact we were stuck behind them for a whole lap, and then just we lose like 7 seconds, whatever, 6, 5, 7 seconds, whatever. Lost so much time to the cars ahead. The maximum is P9, which after a P4 in qualifying it's annoying because I really wanted to pick up some good points and kickstart my season. But we are going to cross the line any minute now with a P9 for ourselves and then my old teammate Jamie in P10. The tyre wear, 72% on the front left and 70% on the front right. This race was it was draining, to say the least. You'll see Truly at the back of the grid in P16. That's because he actually got a puncture on the last lap. His tyre wear was that bad that he ended up getting a puncture. His race wasn't ideal, especially after finishing P2 in his last race. But I'm in disbelief right now. Like, the fact that Haas has been involved in basically ruining our race twice, though only one of them being his fault, it is very frustrating. I actually know that he didn't get a penalty. That was enough to give us any positions, so the P9 was the maximum. And that is what we ended with. Yeah, standings basically, it's just annoying because I had good pace. I qualified P4, only 1/10 off pole, and the pace was there to get like P4. But it is really annoying, and it's just unfortunate. But we move on to next week at Monaco, which is going to be interesting. But if you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.